Hi and welcome. My name is Darko Pavic and I'm from Fiscal Solutions. Today I will talk about Portugal and the fiscal law over there. So, Portugal is purely software fiscal country. We call it like this because it's mandatory to do some functionalities or to implement some functionalities in the POS solution. First, every POS solution which is used in Portugal and every company which is making more than 100,000 euro turnover per year has to be fiscalized. Being fiscalized means fulfilling the software requirements according to the fiscal law. The same rules and the same laws applies also to e-commerce solution. So this means you have to fiscalize, you have to fulfill the country requirements on one side, but on the other side you have to certificate the solution as well. Certification means that the authority will prove if your POS solution is working according to the fiscal law. It is important to say that the certification is first free, so everybody can do it. It takes sometimes longer time and it's depending on the authority. So this means you cannot really predict how fast it will be or how deep will authority analyze your POS application. So calculate enough time for that. At least 2-3 months should be taken and should be calculated. On the other side, it's not only that you have to certificate your software version that you are starting to use in the country, you have to certificate also each and every version which is coming after that, means updates and upgrades of the software solution. In order to start the certification, you will need a local contact, which is not the owner of the fiscalization or the POS application, but he is the owner of the procedure, let's call it like that. This kind of person is needed in order to get the credentials, in order to start the certification. This person has to have a local address and of course local ID. What are the requirements that the software has to fulfill? There are not that many, but they are not that easy. So there are some of them which are very important. First, you have to be able to export anytime upon request the so-called soft files. This is one requirement. Another requirement is that you have to create a chain of transactions, let's say, and to sign all of them. So you have to use digital signature for that. Then, a little bit more complex is the issue about unique numbering of the transaction. There is a certain rule how to do it, and you have to print the QR code on the receipt or invoice or of any transaction, let's say. Then the access of the data has to be secured, so it has to be protected towards manipulations, of course, and you have to be able to log all the data and to be able to analyze if some frauds are happening or some similar abuse of the data. Then you have to send the transaction to the authority. You have two ways to do it. One way to do it more or less real time, so this means online. You create transaction and send it to authority. Or you can create once per month so-called soft files and translate them or move them manually to the tax authority. Both methods are okay and acceptable by the authority. Where do we see the complexity of the fiscalization in Portugal? First, you have to have a local contact in order to start the certification. Many foreign companies don't have it. If you are a company in US and you have to do it in Portugal, what to do? So then each store using the fiscalized POS solution has to be registered at the authority, and of course if you are closing the stores you have to deregister them. Then according to the unique numbers of transactions, you have to define and report to authority the ranges which you will use, the numbers or more or less prefixes for the numbering of the transactions, and you can use of course different numberings for different kind of transactions, let's say. You need a local distributor because this guy and this company is taking the responsibility towards authority that everything is okay. So you need a local company which is presenting you more or less in the market. And you have to fulfill, of course, the technical requirements, which are sometimes not that easy and sometimes quite complex. And now, where can Fiscal Solution be helpful for you? Of course, we can provide you the local person, the local company, which is needed to start and run certification. This is definitely one of the important points. You could use our software modules, which are already implementing the technical part, so the legal technical requirements, let's say. We can lead you through the complete process of the certification as a project manager. We've done it, so we know how to do it. We can provide the contacts after the certification for any kind of recertification in case that you have to update or upgrade your POS solutions. And of course, in the way of monthly service, we can provide all those things like registering the stores, registering the transaction numbers, responsibility as a distributor, let's say, which is continuously, not just for the opening of the stores, and of course, many additional things that we are doing within a standard product that we have, so-called Fiscal hotline services. It's something like, for example, monitoring of the transactions, that data are okay, ensuring that all the data really transfer to the authority, and so on. So, this is a very short overview about the Portuguese fiscal law and implementation over there. If you have any questions regarding that, please do not hesitate to contact me. Have a nice day. Bye.